Hey guys, we have a pretty busy weekend of astrology before us. We are starting our weekend in Mars square Neptune energy. Mars is retrograding back into a square with Neptune. This is the second exact pass of this activation. So it could be bringing up some feelings of discouragement, some lower energy generally. We could be feeling a bit down on ourselves and maybe questioning our capabilities or our abilities generally with this energy coming back into effect. But no fear, you guys, not to worry. We also this weekend have the sun coming into an exact trine in the sky with Jupiter. This is one of the most beneficial, supportive, fortunate, lucky transits that there really are, and this should really be helping to take us from a state of discouragement to perhaps a state of encouragement as this weekend unfolds. We also have Mercury and Venus coming into exact alignment in the sky this weekend, a meeting of the heart and the minds. This is a very lovely aspect. We should be talking and thinking and just really involved in some relational issues this weekend. Relationships sort of top of mind, romance definitely in the air as well. Talking about our feelings of love and affection specifically. Lots of busy energy, lots of problem solving energy in the context of relationships as well playing out this weekend. Let's get into these charts, you guys. Let's take a look at this energy in some more detail and see how this weekend may be unfolding for us on the ground as we go through this energy. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, November 18th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the weekend. In this report, we are going to be breaking down the energy of today, Friday, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday as well, just so that we can get a more in-depth view into what is playing out for us on an energetic level this weekend, as we are on a greater level navigating the shift of the ages, our transition into the age of Aquarius. We've got some big activations happening this weekend. We have more 222 energy coming in this weekend. If you guys have been with my channel for a while, you know I've been noticing that when we happen to have 222s playing out in the numerology in a specific way or in a significant way in terms of any chart activity that's going on, it also usually has a tendency of being a more significant day in our collective energetic transition into the age of Aquarius at this point in time, as we are in this 222 year as well. And this is really about restoring some inner balance and some inner harmony in such a way that can help us really become a magnet essentially for that which can bring us some true soul fulfillment and these more divine alignment, soulmate connections, things that really make us feel alive, that really make us feel balanced and whole inside, the sense of inner harmony, inner peace. That's what this 222 energy wants to bring to us, wants to make us a vessel and a container of, and therefore wants us to experience in the relationship dynamics in our lives as well. And we have a very relationship oriented weekend going on, you guys. We've had a lot of relationship oriented energy actually last week or this past week building into this weekend as well, with Venus ruling relationships, having come to a beautiful trine aspect with Jupiter, and then moving into the sign of Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter expands things and brings blessings and positivity and optimism and hope and luck and truth as well, and freedom. And it's just much more lighthearted, jovial, glass half full type of energy. And with Venus having made this aspect to Jupiter and moving into Sagittarius and now being joined by Mercury, this is doing good things for the realms of relationships in our lives, you guys. But like I said, we do need to start by talking about a bit of the trickier energy that we are navigating this weekend. On Friday, as I said, we are starting the weekend with Mars retrograding back into exact square with Neptune. This is the second exact square of three. There will be three total of these exact squares that happen between now and next spring, essentially, when Mars leaves the sign of Gemini. But we had our first Mars-Neptune square that happened on October 10th. And today, the Friday, November 18th, this is actually our second Mars-Neptune square. So for one, there could be things coming back up or coming back around or being activated or being triggered that are somehow related to things that were happening around the 10th of October in some type of a way. But this also is that aspect and this energy that has been a pretty fundamental part of a lot of things that we've been dealing with over the course of basically since Mars started building into the square with Neptune. I think it was like this past October, late September. This brings the sense of, discouragement, because if we think about it, Mars is our action and our energy and our assertiveness and our willpower and our courage and our strength, and it also rules our self-perception and our self-expression. Mars is associated with the first house, and it just ruled the first house in the birth chart, and the sign of Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac, which is the sign of the self. It has a lot to do with ourselves. And then we're talking about Neptune in the sign of Pisces, and Neptune breaks things down. It dissolves things. It rules how we connect to spirit and a higher power on these very profound, significant, and intangible levels. But it is also where we disconnect from reality and where we are operating in some type of fog or haze or delusion or illusion or fantasy about something. And when we talk about the square aspect, this is a 90-degree aspect that brings tension and conflict, and it's ultimately pushing for some type of breakthrough into a greater resolution or evolution into something, but it brings things to a head. And so we're talking about Mars, right, in Gemini. So the self in the sign of ideas and thoughts. This is how we are thinking about things, the state of our mind, and our own personal self-perception brought into the square aspect with the planet that rules illusions and delusions and dissolves things and breaks them down. So this can really represent a dissolving or a breakdown or some type of illusion or fog through which we are perceiving our own sense of self in relation to our own self-perception, our own self-identification, the potency and the capability of our ideas translated into action, and our ability to act and to be successful, and the things that we're putting our energy into to have a tangible, grounded, solid impact, and not just sort of dissolve or fade away into absolutely nothing. In this Neptune square Mars energy can rule just an inability to experience the potency of our own actions, of our own willpower, or to recognize our strength and to see our potential and our capability and our possibilities and all the options and opportunities. This can all ruled by Gemini as well. This can be distorted, or we can again be in sort of a sense of delusion about our own selves and our own ideas, right, and our own ability to act and to be effective. I feel like this is generally what this Mars square Neptune Gemini Pisces energy is doing for us. It can also bring some very reckless action as a result of being out of control of our own personal vessel and of our own willpower, making poor decisions as well, lacking judgment. However, this is very, very much so being countered, I will say, with the Jupiter influence right now, because whereas Mars squaring Neptune, Gemini Pisces can be reckless decisions, not well thought out choices, delusional actions, the trines from Jupiter are bringing good, wise judgment. So there is a definite balance of things going on, and this is actually even being represented through the Gemini archetype that is being and Mercury being highlighted this weekend, and also the moon is going to be transiting Libra this weekend as well, talking again about polarities and need to balance things. Reciprocal forces at play. So we do have sort of one side of the scale that may be tipping towards more out of control or reckless actions, but on the other side of things, we also have sort of this more fortunate, blessed, lucky energy that is bringing some good judgment, some wise choices, smart decisions that is coming through as well. But generally, these Mars square Neptune themes that we're dealing with, like I've been saying, because this is an extended transit, because we're talking about a retrograde, because we're talking about 3 passes of this exact activation, I actually feel like the purpose and the ultimate outcome of this Mars square Neptune energy will be breaking through any type of spell we've been under, or self-deception or self-delusion that we've been operating within in regards to our ability to be effective and to act and to have good ideas that we can practically put into action in various ways, and in regards again to our own self-perception, stuff like that. I do feel like this aspect is sort of putting places where we are in sort of an illusion or a fantasy regarding our own selves in our face in a way that may bring up some difficulty that we do have to like conquer or overcome. But ultimately, I do think that the impact of this is going to be breaking us out of that, like destroying the illusion, shattering the facade in one way or another, so that we can really have a much clearer idea of like who we are and what we can do with who we are and what we're meant to be doing with who we are as well, which is also tied into this whole process of universal and collective self-actualization that universe is pulling us towards as we are transitioning into the age of Aquarius and all this other stuff I talk about all the time. Anyways, Mars square Neptune, feelings of doubt and discouragement, questioning whether we are on the right track in life generally or not. We may be feeling tempted to quit or to give up in one way or another, although, like I said, with all of this Jupiter influence as well, this puts a sense and instills a sense of like faith and trust and belief in ourselves and higher power and the path and the plan that's unfolding, and it does a lot to counter this Mars and Gemini energy, this Mars and Neptune energy. So while we are dealing with that, and while we may be feeling these temptations, there does seem to be this alternative force that is providing a level of support to keep us on track, even though we may be feeling a little bit off today. We want to avoid the tendency to cave into things right now, these negative feelings or feelings of failure and stuff like that as well. But I don't think that we're going to be with the Jupiter influence, like I said. And we really don't want to let other people's lack of vision into what we are trying to do or accomplish right now, like color or impact our decision-making processes at this point in time. Mars and Neptune, this in the square, this is likely to bring some more like lower physical levels of energy, and we shouldn't push ourselves because Neptune, you know, again, this breaks down energy, and we're talking about Mars ruling our physical vitality and stuff. If we push ourselves too hard in this energy when we're not feeling it, it can result in like illness or injury and stuff like that, because we have a tendency to be just generally a bit weaker when we have the Mars Neptune playing out. So we don't want to be pushing ourselves too hard in this energy, and kind of more like low-key activities like, stretching, walking, meditation, like stuff like that is, or yoga, I mean, is probably going to be a bit better just like on our whole system generally as this energy is playing out. This is not like a super like dynamic gusto physical energy activity type of vibe at all. And we do want to be careful and watch out for devious or deceptive actions that could really be playing out Neptune, because of the ability to delude and elude and hypnotize and project. This can also definitely translate into deception or like devious actions in one type of way. There could be extreme amounts of projection going on right now, like fantasy, like future faking type of stuff, like propaganda, false narratives, spins on things to distort information. That is another thing that this represents, and this also represents like information wars to some extent. We do also like big storms, eruptions to do with things like with oil and things underwater. We may really see some like things going on with oil in some type of big way, especially with Jupiter also back in the sign of Pisces right now as well. So there's that. So just lies, deception, falsehoods, false narratives being used like in playing on people's egos in such a way that they will take some type of action to actually like work against their own purposes or sabotage their own cause. Like this is also a lower octave, a lower dimension of the way this energy is playing out, and some things that we may be seeing or experiencing, or just ways that the energy could also be manifesting at this point in time. Taking the easy way out of things is also not supported in this energy. We shouldn't be hiding from things. We shouldn't be running away from things. We shouldn't be trying to avoid things. We shouldn't be, like I said, like trying to like take the easy way out, because it's likely to create more difficulty for us going forward in one way or another. And we should also try to avoid confrontation in this energy. This could be a very confrontational energy. Like I said, there could be people that are just extremely passionate and being driven by some very distorted ego, lashing out. Mars and Gemini retrograde, this is also like debates, arguments, fights, conflicts over ideas, beliefs, with all the Sagittarius Jupiter energy as well, and being like having overly identified ego to our beliefs and to our ideas, and to our opinions and stuff, or even our choices and decisions. So if anybody is critical towards those things, there is a greater likelihood and tendency to really like lash out and come through slaying some verbal artillery in this energy. So we do want to keep that in mind for sure, and sort of try to not overreact to things, and also just keep ourselves like in a place out of confrontation if we can, as much as possible. With Mars retrograde, though, we could also be redoing or reconsidering something. This could very much have to do with relationships, partnerships, or finances this weekend, with the Mercury Venus conjunction going on as well. And this really putting this emphasis on talking about relationship dynamics, talking about financial dynamics, thinking about it, conversations, but balancing things out as well. This Venus archetype, and again, we do have this Jupiter energy, which does bring like wise choices, good judgment, and stuff like that. And we have a Libra moon that is going to be coming in this weekend as well. So conversations going on, reconsidering, redoing, reworking, also with Mars and square to Neptune, things to do with relationships, partnerships, finances, because remember, we're talking about Mars in the sign of Gemini. Gemini is ruled by who? Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in the conjunction to Venus, about relationships. So in this energy, in this Mars retrograde square Neptune energy, we could be like getting some information about things that we have been confused about in relationship dynamics that are helping to rebalance or reharmonize things in some type of way. But there's a definitely like an emphasis on whatever's going on with this Mars square Neptune, this Mars retrograde energy, what might be coming up, things from the past that, again, maybe have been keeping us in a state of self-delusion or confusion about something, in regards most likely to relationships, with the ruler of Mars currently in the conjunction to Venus, and this moon that is going to be coming through as well, ruled by Venus. It could bring fights, arguments, debates based on ego issues and misunderstandings, like I said. So that's another thing. Mars in Gemini square Neptune, Mars retrograde in Gemini square Neptune in Pisces. This could also be fights, arguments, like breakups and breakdowns over misunderstandings, miscommunications, misinterpretations, just being, like I was saying, like overly attached to or identified with our ego or an idea or an opinion or a belief, and somebody being critical of that in some type of way. So these are likely to be the more root issues of any type of like fights or more serious problems like that we're navigating this weekend. And this could also be redoing something, breaking through into some type of an awareness, or gaining or fixing something that has been not working from the past, like I just said. And this really could have a lot to do with relationship dynamics or financial situations as well, with the Mercury Venus together also in this trine to Jupiter. There is a lot of problem-solving energy coming in this weekend as well. We have had Jupiter forming the trine to Venus and Mars, and is going to be, or Venus and Mercury, sorry, and is going to be forming the trine to the Sun this weekend as well. And this does bring luck and fortune and justice and just positive outcomes to situations. But we also have a grand trine in air signs that is coming in on Sunday as well, with Mars, Saturn, and the moon, that I also think is really going to be facilitating some solutions to any relationship issues that may be coming up in the energy this weekend. And we will talk about that as we get into the energy of Sunday. But I want to talk for a minute about the Sabian symbols, where Mars and Neptune are right now, coming into their exact square today. Mars is coming to 23 degrees of Gemini. That Sabian symbol is 3 fledglings in a nest high in a tree, and Neptune is at 23 Pisces, a materializing medium giving a seance. So we are being asked, you guys, to be patient and to learn and to observe and to develop our skills before we just jump out of the nest and take some type of radical, reckless action, right? But there is this highly spiritualized component of whatever is playing out right now as well, and the energy is asking us to ask for divine assistance, to pay attention to intuitive urges and signs and synchronicities and just like hunches that are coming to us, and to be open to receive support from the divine that is very available to us with Mars and Neptune at these degrees. Now, other than that, I do need to say, we do have a Virgo moon going on today, you guys. The moon in Virgo happens to be just in the right accurate degree range to be forming the T-square between Mars retrograding back into exact square with Neptune today. So, there's a reason why I've been sort of emphasizing this energy outside of the fact that this activation is coming exact for the second time today. The moon is also really playing into this, really emphasizing this, really highlighting this. Honestly, with the moon forming the T-square today from the sign of Virgo, in the balance that we have going on, like I said, on one hand of things, we have this Mars square Neptune energy going on. On the other hand of things, we have this Jupiter trine energy going on and the Sagittarius energy going on. But with the moon in Virgo today, I do feel like even though we have a balance of energy playing out that is sort of doing some things to keep the other from going over the top and totally winning in terms of the vibe, I do feel like with the moon in Virgo today, this is weighting the energy towards this Mars Neptune square for sure. And I mean, the Virgo moon, when we're already talking about Mars retrograde in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces, in the sense of discouragement or low energy or sense of perhaps failure or lack of perception of our ability to succeed or take action some type of way, and then we bring the Virgo moon at the same degree position as well, this could make us just feel very self-critical, very judgmental of ourselves today, quite pessimistic in the context also of this great optimism that Jupiter is bringing through. And it's so funny because we really are super bipolar today, sort of on an energetic level, and we do have Mars in Gemini as well, and Gemini does rule polarities and options and choices, so we're sort of going back and forth today, but I feel like this sense of just criticism and judgment is mostly going to be internal and turned inwards towards ourselves. We may be feeling not so great about ourselves and our progress and our abilities and our capabilities and our ability to execute on our plans and to make our dreams come true and stuff like that in this energy. But we do want to be careful of not projecting that outwards onto others and just seeing massive amounts of flaws and failures and lack of ability to be assertive and stuff like that in other people today, because that's a tendency of how this energy can play out and how it can work as well. And we do have this Gemini, so we want to be careful that we are not projecting with this T-square Virgo moon Mars square Neptune sort of day that we have playing out on Friday. But like I said, and I'm saying it again, this Mercury Venus conjunction, trine to Jupiter, Sun coming into the trine to Jupiter, the Sagittarius energy that's building is tempering a lot of the tension and the conflict that may be arising with this mutable T-square that is playing out today as well. So we can't lose total faith, you guys, and that is a blessing that we do have coming from the universe today, because this could really be energy where we're just feeling really down on ourselves and really just want to throw in the towel and quit and give up maybe on something that we've been working on for a long time, because we just feel like it's not going anywhere and we just can't do it. But we're not giving up, you guys. We're not throwing in the towel, and this sense of discouragement, like I said, is likely to transform itself into a sense of encouragement as we move into the energy for Saturday and Sunday. So let's start talking about the energy for Saturday now. Saturday is a day, you guys, where as opposed to the moon being in Virgo and forming the T-square to Mars and Neptune on Friday, on Saturday, we have both luminaries coming into aspect with Jupiter. We have the Sun only 1 degree off exact trine to Jupiter, and we have the moon forming an opposition to Jupiter to start the day on Saturday, while Mercury and Venus are only 1 degree apart in Sagittarius. And, of course, we're still in this Mars square Neptune energy, but we should be feeling quite different about things today, with the moon leaving Virgo, coming to the very end of Virgo, coming to the opposition with Jupiter, and then moving into the sign of Libra. There could be a level actually of truth setting us free from something in some one way or another today, breaking ourselves out of or dispelling some type of an illusion on Saturday Friday through gaining a higher perspective or a level of wisdom or truth, or just like sort of shifting our mindset in some type of way, or something happens that sort of inspires us or just like makes us feel sort of like brings us back to life and instills or restores a sense of self-confidence that may have felt quite lacking in the energy on Friday. So we should be feeling quite better about ourselves and whatever we have going on and just life generally as we move into the energy on Saturday. Now, Saturday is our day this weekend where we don't have any exact aspects hitting other than Mars and Neptune in the exact square, but there is still this big emphasis on relationship dynamics and also like sort of like gratification and pleasure seeking in the energy. We do have a Libra moon going on Saturday. We have Mercury and Venus together in the sign of Sagittarius. We have the sun coming into the trine with Jupiter. We have the moon forming the opposition to Jupiter. So there's definitely probably a very like larger than life or expansive energy today when it comes to sort of self-care and feeling good and, you know, relating with people. This is a very, very social energy that we have going on right now as well. We do want to be careful, I will say, of doing something like literally insane out of some type of big or overblown sentiment or like feeling of love or compassion or affection. There may be some very like over the top displays of love that are going on with this Venus, Sagittarius, Sun trining Jupiter, Mercury, Venus energy that we have playing out, and also Mars squaring Neptune. Like people may be feeling like very like idealizing or over idealizing or feeling very just like open-hearted and a need to spill out feelings, to really talk about feelings. To this could also be like a lot of shopping going on, a lot of like big purchases and transactions. This could be a very busy weekend out and about, whining and dining and shopping, and like all that type of stuff could really be going on in some type of big ways this weekend. But we really do like keep an eye out, because people really may just be going way over the top in terms of like their almost like crazy sort of displays of like feelings in one way or another for people somehow. Something that could be indicated. Energy could have us feeling so in love and so hopeful and so optimistic with both luminaries aspecting Jupiter and the Mercury Venus energy in Sagittarius that we are doing something delusional or taking some type of reckless action, and we do want to watch out for that, like I said. Okay, so also though, because Jupiter is this planet ruling truth and good judgment and higher perspectives and wisdom, justice also on one hand, there really could be some illusions that are also being shattered this weekend, both in terms of like illusions that we have been projecting onto people. Like perhaps we have been seeing someone through a very idealistic lens or some very rose-colored glasses, and this energy comes through with this big wave of Jupiter and truth and higher perspective and wisdom and Mars squaring Neptune, and we're like, whoa, that is actually not who that person was, and like taking our like beer goggles off, you know what I mean, or like these rose-colored glasses, and like actually seeing the truth of someone that maybe we had been over idealizing. Or on the flip side of this, we may be just really finding some things out. There, again, this very conversation energy in Mars retrograde, we may be finding some things out from the past about relationships that change our perspective, open our mind, and help us to release something in one way or another as well. Remember, Neptune does dissolve things. Neptune breaks things down. Neptune, it takes things away. It rules loss on one extent. So, and we are still in the Scorpio cycle in this eclipse season. We have not gotten to our new moon in Sagittarius yet. And so the energy right now really is about closing things out, about moving on from the past, about like cutting ties and cleaning up loose ends and just moving on from things generally. So that is something that could be tied into this as well, in terms of the perspective that we are gaining, or the knowledge that we are receiving, or the wool that is being pulled off of our eyes, and the like staring into the accurate depiction maybe of what we had been seeing in a blurry light before, causing us to maybe want to do some things to move on from a situation, or again, like I said, there is this problem solving energy that is coming through this weekend as well. But generally, you guys, with all this Sagittarius and this emphasis on this Venus and Mercury vibes as well, we are wanting to enjoy life. We are wanting to indulge in pleasures with the Libra moon also. And the physical energy dynamic of things is still likely to be quite low. So this is just like a more like pampering, self-care, relaxation, vacation, splurging, shopping sprees. Like I said, like wining and dining. Like we're not likely to be really putting our nose to the grindstone and like really focused on getting some like hard work done or like really pushing ourselves to do things that are like physically exerting in some type of way. And we don't want to be either, because we really don't want to be pushing ourselves past a point that is real comfortable for us in this energy, especially on a physical level, because like I said, Neptune squaring Mars, this can drain or break down our physical energy level and like our vitality and stuff like that. So we don't really need to be taking a risk with that type of thing right now. But relationship dynamics, definitely the highlight, you guys, on Saturday. And it's so cute. It's funny. We actually have the position of the Earth on Saturday, 28 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a woman pursued by mature romance. So even the position of the Earth, what's happening on the ground is talking about this romance that's in the air, right? And it's like the woman pursued. What I've been saying, if you guys watched my video from Thursday when I was talking about the energy, I was saying how this weekend was a really good weekend to like take a risk in love, or to like ask somebody out that maybe you've been like on the fence about, or to just like really like get to know someone better or something like that you might be interested in, because there are some like positive indications for how like romantic and partnership and relationship dynamics that are manifesting in this energy are likely to go in the future. Like this is very blessed and positive alignments that are coming into place right now. Very divinely aligned in a lot of ways as well. Remember, we are in this 222 year that is trying to bring us these soul connections and these partnerships that provide us these opportunities for this much greater sense of fulfillment and essentially divine alignment, so that we can go through this process of self-actualization and rise into our higher selves and activate our destiny and become the best version of ourselves as we are going through this shift and this conscious awakening and transitioning into the age of Aquarius. That's one component of how universe is helping us in the process, trying to align us with the people who are going to support us in such a way that we can like go through this process of personal growth moving forward. And I do feel like this is the time of year when a lot of this 222 year energy that has been being indicated all year is really coming into fruition. And the position of the Earth today is literally saying a woman pursued by mature romance, but it's so funny as well because it's like this mature romance, right? And at this point in time, it's because we have gone through this period of really like redefining our preferences and our values and what we want and what we even desire in the realms of relationships. And now that we've come to this higher level and this greater relationship to ourselves, we are wanting something that is in alignment with who we are becoming now, which would equate to this more mature version of ourselves. And we have this woman that is pursued by this mature romance. I feel like this is definitely talking about and indicating the relationships that are coming into play now. And this doesn't just have to be on a romantic level, you guys. This could be business partnerships, this could be friendships, this could be all types of connections and relationships and just like interpersonal dynamics and stuff like that. But I feel like it's talking about the fact that these interactions and these encounters and these connections that are coming in now are a reflection of this enhanced version of ourselves that we are coming into now, and are no longer a reflection of the old versions of ourselves that may have kept us attached to our past ways and means of being and existing and all of that, which is what we need to graduate and to go through this process of self-actualization to make this age of Aquarius transition and shift happen. So very interesting there as well. We do want to be careful though. We want to be observant, and we want to make sure that we are making wise choices about things. We have Venus, the one of the like I guess rulers of the day, especially with the moon moving into Libra today at 5 degrees of Sagittarius on Saturday, an old owl perched up in a tree, perched high up in a tree. So I feel like this is saying, you know, again, just like we had the position of the sun on Friday or just like we had the position of Mars, rather, for the square with Neptune at the 3 fledglings in a nest high in a tree, the position of Venus on Saturday is talking about an old owl perched high up in a tree. So I feel like, and we do still have Mars at the 3 fledglings, you know, so I feel like, again, not like leaping before we are ready, not just throwing ourselves into something. Observations, learning, making wise choices, making smart decisions, strategy, and not taking action until we are totally ready to execute and feeling confident and assured that we are going to achieve our outcome, okay, with the position of Venus in the owl degree. But again, you guys, I feel like this is being reinforced by Jupiter in the trine and this happening in Sagittarius. We're talking about good choices and smart decisions. Good choices, you guys, smart decisions, taking the time to observe things thoroughly before we just jump into things. This is what universe is supporting with Jupiter for like success and growth and expansion and positivity moving forward. So that is basically the energy that I have, or what I want to say for the energy on Saturday. This emphasis definitely going on relationships. We should be feeling a lot better about stuff. We do want to be careful about taking things sort of over the top in one way or another. But I do feel like we are seeing the truth about things, and this could be in regards to ourselves, it could be in regards to various relationship dynamics in our lives, but there's a huge emphasis on relationships for sure, playing out in the energy on Saturday. Now let's move on, you guys. Let's talk about the energy for Sunday. We have three main things happening on Sunday. Sunday is a very big energy day. Number one, this is the day where we have the sun coming into the exact trine to Jupiter in the sky. So this is one of the best energies that there are in all of astrology. We also have Mercury and Venus joining at the same degree, coming into exact conjunction. Now I should say their exact Kazemi moment, their exact to the minute conjunction will not happen until tomorrow on Monday. That it will happen on Monday. But we begin the exact activation of Mercury Venus happening on Sunday as well. And we do have a Libra moon forming a grand trine in air that is happening on Sunday as well between Mars retrograde and Saturn. And this is also a pretty big and powerful energy that I feel like is coming through to, like I said earlier, to help us solve some problems. So actually, there's four main things happening if we count the square from Mars to Neptune, but that is just sort of ongoing right now, and that activated on Friday, and it's still an exact effect. So we are putting that at the bottom of our list of activations that are happening on Sunday, although, you know, it may be one of the more significant activations. However, with the moon in Libra, talking about Venus and the conjunction to Mercury in Sagittarius, talking about Jupiter, talking about trine to the sun, I do feel like it's likely to be a pretty good day. This is a meeting of the mind and the heart coming together, really being on the same page with ourselves in terms of how we're feeling and what we're thinking and what we want and the state of our mentality. Essentially, it's like we know what we want. That is something that is likely to be coming clear and coming through in this energy, and it's in the sign of Sagittarius. So we know what we want in a big way, and it has to do with truth and freedom for sure, two of the main themes of the sign of Sagittarius. We're talking about Venus and Sagittarius. This is a big heart, big love, but also a need for freedom to express that. And Mercury and Sagittarius, this is a big mind. This is a overall like bird's eye view perspective, and it's a strong emphasis on our beliefs as well. So, and the freedom to say what we think and to express what we believe. So when we kind of add that together, boil them down into one, this is just a need to be able to express our feelings and have the freedom to do so and to pursue essentially what we desire. And then we're talking about the sun, you guys, coming to the trine with Jupiter between Scorpio and Pisces. This is also a very, very psychic energy. This is a very sensitive energy. This is a very psychic energy. Huge ability to like connect to like other spiritual world, spiritual plane, God, spirit, universe, receive some assistance. Pay attention, be on the lookout for like signs and symbols and synchronicities today, you guys. They're likely to be very apparent. Ask for advice, ask for guidance, ask for signs, ask for tangible ways that you can understand and tangible answers to the questions and guidance to, you know, whatever you may be navigating right now. I feel like it's definitely going to be there in abundance today with the sun trining Jupiter in these water signs as well. But this is just an uplifting, hopeful, optimistic, blessed, fortunate, lucky energy. This does does support good judgment. This does support some wise choices. This does support justice. This does support generally positive outcomes of things, especially also with Mercury and Venus together conjunct in the sign of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter and the sun. And then also we're talking about this air trine that is going on today as well. This is the mind, the air energy, thoughts, ideas, communications facilitated, flowing in a way that is bringing or creating or providing some productive solutions to things, okay? And these are productive solutions to some issues that have been lingering from the past, that we haven't been able to figure out, that we haven't been able to clear up, that have been giving us issues, especially perhaps in relationship dynamics or in regards to other people or in regards to our own perception of ourself as well and our own relationship to ourself. There could be some type of an epiphany or some type of an idea or some type of like flash of insight or something that's sort of hitting us today, some type of solution that comes to us, something that we learn, something that we overhear, some type of conversation that we have with somebody that opens our eyes to something. But it's likely in regards to how to fix something, like I said, how to make something better, how to restore balance or harmony in a way that is really solving a problem in one way or another. And especially, again, in these more social realms of our lives, the more social dimension of things, friendships, social networks, social groups, families, like just the people generally, relationship dynamics generally. This is where we are likely to be discovering how to implement these solutions. Because when we think about it, we're talking about Saturn. Saturn, this is and Mars together. Saturn and Mars, when they are together in a trine aspect, this, especially in air signs, this can bring some really strong problem solving ideas and ways to use our energy that are very productive in fixing things somehow, especially with Mars retrograde. And then we're talking about the moon coming into the sign of Libra, which is doing this. And Libra is about what? Libra is about relationships and it's about finances, but it's also about justice. It's also about balance. It's also about harmony. It's about like balancing or evening things out and creating some type of fairness or some type of like smoothing something over, appeasing something, solving something. So when we talk about Mars and Saturn and these air signs and these ideas that can help us create some type of productive solution to something, and then we're talking about also the sign of Libra, about these relationships and about restoring balance and harmony and justice. This is a solution to restore some type of peace in one way or another. And because we also have Venus ruling Libra and Mercury ruling Gemini together in the sign of Sagittarius, this is like us talking about, these are some very productive meetings, very productive conversations, very productive dialogues or interactions or even debates perhaps that are going on where there's some type of something that is gained that helps actually alleviate or solve a problem in some type of way, bring things back into a better balance, heal something in some type of way. Very strong relational healing energy I feel like is going on right now as well. And just a huge emphasis. People are very likely to be being much more verbal about what they want than maybe typical, maybe usual. Don't be surprised if somebody who never really speaks their mind or says how they feel about things is all of a sudden kind of like spilling over with a need to communicate their desires or something in this energy as well. Likely to talk about what we want, and also with the Grand Trine and air playing out, what we can do to make it happen. Solutions that have come to us that we can use to like restore something in one way or another. But ultimately, in the energy on Sunday, I do feel like this is a very upbeat, optimistic, social, more jovial energy, wanting to bring these people and minds together, these meetings of the heart, meetings of the mind to get something done. It's a much more productive energy on Sunday, I feel like, than we have going on Saturday. Saturday, I feel like, is more of a day of kind of like indulgence. And Sunday as well, but with the air trine going on to Saturn and Mars, I do feel like we are more geared towards doing something to make things better for ourselves in one way or another. But lots and lots of conversations, lots of talking going on, lots of trying to figure things out, get to the bottom of things, and come up with like innovative solutions to restore something in some way or another, most likely in regards to relationship dynamics. Let's see, what else did I want to say? The position of the Earth on Sunday as well two cobblers working side by side at a table. And again, like, I feel like this is talking about this air trine that we have going on, and this Libra moon that we have going on, and this relationship and partnership dynamic of things that we have going on, literally talking about two cobblers, right? The scales, or this Gemini energy, this Mercury energy, working side by side at a table. So meeting of the minds, meeting of the hearts, coming together, collaborating in one way or another to create something, to produce something, to solve some type of problem, to have some type of productive outcome. The position of the earth. The earth positions in terms of the symbolism all weekend, I feel like, are very specific. So that is what I have to say, you guys, for the astrology for the weekend. Definitely emphasis on Venus and Mercury vibes, emphasis on Mars square Neptune vibes, emphasis on Jupiter vibes. Should be good though. Like I said, you know, we do have this sort of bipolar energy playing out, especially to start our weekend, but and it is weighted more towards the more you know, not the like most upbeat side of things on Friday, but that changes, and we should be feeling a lot better about stuff going into Sunday and heading into Monday as well, when we will have our exact Mercury Venus cazimi. Our beauty, this is also a very, very creative energy, I should say, you guys, like art, beauty, music, anything like that, creating things, very supported, very, very supported in this energy at this point in time, and likely for some type of success, especially with all this Jupiter. It's very, very creative energy as well. So let's grab a synchronicity card now. God, Spirit, Universe, what is one piece of advice that we need and that will benefit us as we go through this weekend? And it says love equals respect. Of course, we're talking about love in the synchronicity card, you guys. A woman pursued by mature romance, the position of the earth on Saturday. Love is in the air, romance is in the air, and God, Universe, Great Spirit is reminding us, moving into this energy, that love equals respect. The children of this world are given in marriage, Luke 20:34. God is love, and when true love in the heart unites a man and a woman, it is God joining a couple. When difficulties and arguments occur, dissolve the problem in the light of God's love. Love, goodwill, and understanding are the keys to all human understanding. Respect one another. Refusing to treat one another with respect will cause more harm than any other act. So, a reminder on, as we are going through this weekend, that may have a strong emphasis on the heart, on relationships, on romance, on love, that we need to keep respect equally sort of like on the top of our mind in whatever is going on. And I did forget to say Sunday is that 222 day, Sunday, November 20th, 2022, when we have Venus, Mercury coming together and this trine. So I do feel like, you know, indicating good things for us, and love is respect, you guys, and we need to keep this in mind as we are going throughout the course of what is likely to be quite a lovely weekend. So that's what I have to say, you guys. Message from the stars, advice from God, Spirit, Universe throughout the course of our weekend. I hope you guys liked it. Hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you a little bit of whatever you need as you go through this energy. If you guys did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested and enjoy this type of content as well. Leave me comments. I love your comments. Truly grateful for your feedback. Thank you guys so much for being here. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social medias. Those are in my description box below. And come back with me on Monday, you guys. We have Mercury, Venus to talk about, and I'm sure there will be a whole bunch of other lovely business, and I'll be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it, and I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful weekend, and until next time, bye.